Since ancient times, humanity has witnessed the relentless power of nature, and one of the most striking stories is that of the biblical flood. This event, described in the book of Genesis, tells of how waters covered the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, submerging the known world and wiping out all life, except for those preserved on Noah's Ark. But the tale of a great flood is not unique to the Judeo-Christian tradition. In fact, flood myths are found in cultures across the globe. The Epic of Gilgamesh, from ancient Mesopotamia, describes a similar deluge, where the gods send floods to cleanse the earth, and only the hero at Nepistum survives in a boat he builds, saving his family and all species of animals. Similarly, in Hindu mythology, the story of Manu recounts how a great flood threatened to destroy all life, and Manu was guided by the god Vishnu, who took the form of a fish, to build an ark and save the seeds of all living beings. These legends all share a common theme: an overwhelming flood that wipes out civilization, sparing only a chosen few. But did such floods ever really occur? While there is no conclusive evidence that the biblical flood or other religious flood stories happened exactly as described, there are geological events that could have inspired them. Welcome to the Wild Worlds Files. Please consider subscribing. It would help me a lot to keep uploading content. Thank you. Throughout Earth's history, there have been floods so massive that they challenge our understanding of natural phenomena. In this video, we will explore some of the most catastrophic events recorded by science, which might evoke memories of the flood myths passed down through generations. One of the most compelling examples is the Black Sea Deluge, a hypothesis that suggests approximately 7,600 years ago, the Black Sea Basin experienced a catastrophic flood that could have been the source of flood myths in ancient Near Eastern cultures. After the end of the last ice age, as global temperatures rose, the glaciers that once locked vast amounts of water began to melt. This caused sea levels around the world, including the Mediterranean, to rise significantly. A natural land barrier separating the Mediterranean from the freshwater lake that was the Black Sea eventually collapsed, likely at what is now the Bosphorus Strait. What followed was an influx of Mediterranean seawater into the Black Sea Basin, at a rate that must have seemed apocalyptic to those living nearby. Imagine the scale of the devastation. Fertile lands around the lake, which had supported human communities for millennia, were rapidly submerged under salt water, displacing entire populations. Archaeologists believe that the influx was so sudden that it caused the Black Sea to rise by meters in a matter of weeks, flooding up to 60,000 square miles of land. For the people who lived through this event, it would have felt like the sea itself had invaded the earth, transforming their world overnight. Oral traditions would have carried these stories through the generations, eventually becoming the foundation for the flood myths that endure to this day. But the Black Sea is not the only region where we find evidence of catastrophic flooding. In North America, another event of colossal proportions reshaped the landscape approximately 15,000 years ago, the Missoula megafloods. During the end of the last ice age, an enormous glacial lake known as Lake Missoula formed in what is now the state of Montana in the United States. This lake, held back by an immense ice dam, contained more water than Lake Erie and Lake Ontario combined. When the ice dam inevitably weakened under the immense pressure of the water and the warming climate, it collapsed repeatedly. This wasn't just a one-time event, but occurred multiple times over thousands of years. Each time the ice dam gave way, a torrent of water, around 500 cubic miles, was unleashed with such force that it scoured the landscape, leaving behind one of the most geologically unique areas in the world. The floodwaters raced across the Pacific Northwest, moving at speeds up to 60 miles per hour, carrying boulders, trees, and debris in their path. The flood carved out deep canyons, like the Columbia River Gorge, and created vast, barren landscapes now known as the Channeled Scablands in Washington state. At its peak, the floods released more water than all the rivers in the world combined, overwhelming and reshaping everything in their path. The sheer scale of the Missoula megafloods is hard to comprehend. In some areas, the water would have been over 1,200 feet deep, submerging entire valleys and hills, leaving behind ripple marks the size of small mountains. As the floodwaters receded, they left behind a drastically altered landscape, including dry waterfalls, giant potholes, and massive gravel bars, remnants of the flood's immense power. Even today, the effects of these floods can be seen in the landscape, a lasting testament to nature's incredible force. These events, though separated by thousands of years and taking place in different parts of the world, showcase the unimaginable power that natural forces can exert, shaping the destiny of entire regions. Whether it's the biblical flood, the deluge of the Black Sea, or the floods of ancient glacial lakes, humanity has long been in awe of the forces that govern our planet. The stories of great floods, whether grounded in myth or fact, serve as reminders of how fragile human existence can be in the face of nature's wrath. Scientific research continues to unravel the details of these ancient megafloods, but one thing is clear: these were not mere fables, they were real events that profoundly impacted both the environment and human societies. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to the Wild Worlds Files for more incredible stories and adventures.